So there's no doubt about it that 2023 was the absolute worst year for the Walt Disney Company for several reasons, right? For multiple factors. The biggest one of all is the fact that it so happened to land on their 100th year anniversary. We had high status individuals like Elon Musk, for example, putting Bob Iger in the hot seat, calling him out week after week. We had South Park Studios and Paramount really, going against Disney and taking a jab at them with the Panderverse special, and let alone we also have the Daily Wire introducing their version of Snow White on the exact day of the Disney 100th anniversary. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. So, one thing about Jenna Ortega as an actress, we all know that she is being very, very careful with the types of roles that she, makes a complete decision on. And with the upcoming Beetlejuice, well, that is going to be a success. It's projected to be a very successful film come this September. But when it comes to Disney, there's been a lot of drama happening between herself, the Disney heads, Bob Iger, Disney executives. The list goes on and on. Let's discuss. Now, Jenna Ortega, you guys may or may not know her, but for those of you that do, we all know that she is an actress that really does take a stand against the Walt Disney Company, and for several reasons why. It all has a lot to do with her being one of the talents out there that is against Disney's way of handling DEI / of course, everything else related to their agenda, that's really just wreaking havoc at all different divisions of the Walt Disney Company. However, this is where things get interesting, is that with all divisions at the Disney Company dealing with various setbacks and challenges, one major development now has more to do with actress Jenna Ortega and what she recently did against the Disney heads after a series of recent negotiations after various projects. Now, one crucial update to the situation now involves how Ortega recently took a massive stand against the Disney heads that she made her final decision to not get involved in a project for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In recent weeks, there were various conversations happening between Ortega where she was in the process of signing up for not just the Pirates of the Caribbean reboot, which was of course a actual project that was shot down by her for using DEI elements by Disney, but also she recently shot down a major Marvel Universe offer for Phase 7 and refused after learning about Disney's recent motive with the usage of DEI above proper storytelling. The plan was to also provide Ortega a short cameo for her Marvel character in the next Avengers film for Phase 6 to signal her future in the MCU. There were many heated arguments that happened between Ortega and her team, such as her agent and manager, and the Disney heads refusing to withdraw from their agenda and ideology, that Ortega informed Disney that she will now be stepping away completely from Disney. To make matters more serious, for Disney's sake, Ortega also backed out of a project by Pixar that was practically a set deal for the actress for the upcoming, as it turns out, Toy Story 5 film for 2026, where Ortega was going to sign a very important Pixar / Walt Disney contract deal for voiceover work of a brand new character. Now, of course, though also after learning that this character was tied to an agenda and ideology by Disney, she too shot down this offer by Bob Iger and the Disney heads. As of now, Ortega is walking away completely from the Walt Disney Company in the midst of her plan to make a rebound with Disney and making a comeback that is now no longer moving forward. Ortega's withdrawal from Disney is reportedly creating much panic by those tied to the Marvel project, as the character was apparently only being created for Ortega's appearance. The same goes for Toy Story 5, where the character was designed a certain way only for Ortega, and now Disney / Pixar has to throw their plans for the new character out the window, and really reframing that idea for the 5th Toy Story film that was going to double down on DEI and LGBTQ agendas that she did not agree with. A lot of this had to do with her in fear of damaging her thriving acting career, especially with the upcoming Beetlejuice sequel that is projected to be a smash hit this September. Bob Iger is already beginning to create an emergency meeting about the future of Pixar and Marvel in the wake of Ortega's withdrawal, along with her pulling away from the Pirates of the Caribbean reboot. So, look, we know that, yes, Inside Out 2 was a success. We can't lie about this, guys. If you pull away from your agenda, your ideology, you have an entertaining film. I mean, that's all it really takes, right? Just make entertainment, make something good, and that may very well have been a one-off for Pixar. We already know that Pixar is still in shambles. Inside Out 2 did not necessarily save them in its entirety, but it did kind of guide them that you can make something successful if you withdraw from DEI and all of the nonsense, ideologies being thrown at the audience, at the general public. But this is where things get very much complex. The fact that you have a scenario where they were creating a character/characters for Marvel/Pixar for Ortega's appearance. They were gonna, I guess, make her look like that in Toy Story 5 by design, as well as what was gonna be used in the upcoming Marvel project for the Avengers and a cameo pre-Avengers. Alright, the next Avengers film. So, the fact that they were doing that goes to show you that they did exactly what they did in the Acolyte series. I don't know if you guys knew this, but OSHA/May, that was all created for Amandla Stenberg. There were zero, and I mean zero, auditions for that character. Ortega got the role like that through Leslie Headland and Kathleen Kennedy. It was a design for her, based on her. Something very similar to what was going on with Ortega for Pirates of the Caribbean, this Marvel Avengers film / the Marvel's cameo, of course, and let's not forget about everything else related to Toy Story 5. So she was going to have these two Marvel appearances, one being a cameo pre the next Avengers film, and the Avengers movie that's coming up, as well as Toy Story 5 and the Pirates of the Caribbean reboot. Those are the technically four major projects that fell apart. There were among others that we talked about in previous months, but I would like to say this is where things get more intense, is that Ortega reportedly demanded that she would only return to getting involved for the new Pirates film if Johnny Depp returned and was respected, as this would improve box office statistics globally. This is why the Pirates film was delayed for filming, to actually reframe Jenna Ortega's character by design and the story behind that character. So again, the fact that this is why the Pirates of the Caribbean movie is just stagnant right now, they don't have a filming date, it has a lot to do with this character being recreated. She literally put Disney in a very panicky mess right now, and you know what? I think that they deserve it. The fact that they were creating characters specifically for an actress with no auditions that were required goes to show you that they wanted a character just based on Jenna Ortega's popularity and to really kind of drag in her fans. That's how desperate Disney is getting when it comes to box office numbers and everything in that sense. So overall, there's a lot of things going on with Bob Iger. I don't think that he's going to have a good legacy for the next 2 years. I don't think that he's going to turn anything around. He does plan to step down by 2026. I don't know if you guys were very well aware about that, but that is a thing that's going on right now. That's his overall game plan. That's his end game, to end himself as CEO by 2026. But overall, guys, I would like to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.